Welcome to this emotional intelligence workout. Let's go ahead and dive right on into our warm-up exercise. So I'm going to put the emotion wheel on the screen here, and what we're going to start off by is just studying the emotion wheel for as long as you want. You can do it for 5 seconds, you can do it for 30 seconds, for a minute, as long or as little as you want. But when we come back from doing that, we are going to spend 1 minute writing down as many different emotions as we can think of. The purpose of this is to build our vocabulary, because the greater our vocabulary of emotions, the greater our chance of naming our emotions in real time, which is the foundation of emotional intelligence. So take the time that you need, and then we'll get going. Wonderful. Okay, so 1 minute of writing down or just thinking through in the top of your head all the different emotions that you can think of. 3, 2, 1, let's dance. Wonderful. That is our minute done and dusted just like that. Thank you for diving into our warm-up exercise. But let's go into our next exercise, which is emotions of the week. So what I'd like you to do is to think back over this last week and just to identify and explore the strongest emotions that you felt. The ones that lifted you up and the ones that brought you down as well. So 1 minute of just thinking through our emotions of the past week. I'm going to put the emotion wheel back on the screen so you can use that as a reference, but of course, not all the emotions are on there, so you might have felt some different ones. All right, let's dance. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for diving into that exercise. So we're going to go into the BEN exercise now, which stands for build up, effect, and next. But before we really dive in, what I'd like you to do is to go ahead and identify on your piece of paper or just the emotions that you were thinking through from this last week in your head, and just circle one, pick one that you'd like to explore in greater depth, just to understand a little bit more about how it came about, the triggers, and then also how you responded and reacted to it. So go ahead, pick one. Wonderful, thank you. So, first step in the BEN exercise is the build-up. We're going to do this for a minute, but of course in any of these take as much or as little time as you want, so if you feel like you've gone through it all already before the minute is done, then go ahead and just skip to the end of that little timestamp there. But here in this step, in the build-up, what we're going to do is we're going to explore what was the trigger to that emotion, what caused that emotion to come about, what was the sequence of events that led to that emotion. No right or wrong answer to this. It's in your own space. Just thinking through for a minute what led to you feeling that emotion. Could be something that someone else said, something that someone else did to you. Could be something that you did or you didn't do. Whatever happened in your space for that emotion to come about. So let's think about that for a minute. Enjoy. On to the E now, which stands for effect. So what I want us to explore in this one is what happened after you had that emotion. What did that emotion make you do? What was your response or your reaction to it? And again, take this in whatever direction makes sense for you. Maybe it made you say something that you didn't want to say. Maybe it made you say something that you did want to say. Maybe it led on to a different emotion, a spiral of emotions. Maybe it made you act or behave or consider things that you hadn't considered before, whatever it is. So onto the effect here, 1 minute once again, just exploring what were the effects, what was the after effects, the consequences, how did you react, how did you respond to that emotion? So 3, 2, 1, let's go for it. Wonderful, excellent, thank you for diving into all these. So on to the end now, which is next. Now we're just going to do this one for 30 seconds, but what we're going to do here is explore, if you were in that situation again, what would you do next time? What would you do next? How would you respond to that emotion if you could choose? Or if you were exploring an emotion that was fantastic and that you were having a really good time, then how could you re-engage with that same experience? How could you create that same build-up and that same effect afterwards? So here we go, just 30 seconds for this one. 3, 2, 1, let's dance. Wonderful, thank you. Okay, so we're going to leave the Ben exercise behind for now, and we're going to go into emotion observations. So same as emotions of the week, we're going to look back over our last week, but this time what I'd like us to do is to see if we can identify the different emotions that we observed in others, in our friends, in our family, in colleagues, in our teammates, whatever emotions you observed. And it could be just in shows or movies that you watched as well, if that comes to mind for you. So 1 minute for this one, no right or wrong answers, just thinking through the different situations. What emotions did you observe in others? Let's go. Yes. Well done. Thank you. So just one final note on that exercise that I want to share with you, and that what we have thought of in that situation when we're thinking about emotions that we've observed in others, those are our best guesses. We don't know what that other person is feeling. We can make our observations, we can make our guesses. But if you want to take your emotional intelligence to the next level, you really want to build these muscles, then the next step is to have some of those conversations And if it's someone that you feel like you can have the conversation with them and just ask them, in that situation, what were you feeling? And learning about that, diving into that, dialing up your curiosity as a result. So that's an opportunity to keep on building your emotional intelligence, to figure out, actually, did I get my empathy right? But onwards to an exercise called What the Func. Now, what this stands for is, what is the function of an emotion? So what I'd like you to do is just to go ahead and pluck a random emotion off the top of your head. And I'll put the emotion wheel up, as you can see here. So just go ahead, pick one of those emotions. Now, what I'd like you to do is to go ahead and see if you can figure out, what is the function of that emotion? What is that emotion trying to tell you, trying to tell us? A classic example is fear. Fear is telling us to, have our antennas up, to be wary of danger, to be cautious, to heighten our senses, to be engaged with what's around us. So you've got your emotion. We are going to do this for 30 seconds. And we're just going to explore, what do you think that emotion is trying to tell you? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, wonderful. On to our last two exercises. So, gratitude and excitement, 30 seconds for both of them. So, first one is gratitude. What are you grateful for? In your day, in your life, in general, 30 seconds of just thinking through all the things that you're grateful for. Let's go. Excellent, and on to excitement, 30 seconds. What are you excited for in the rest of your day, the rest of your week, in your life in general? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Wonderful. That is our emotional intelligence workout done and dusted. Let me give you a huge round of applause. Big gratefulness from me to you as well for diving into this, and wishing you the best rest of your day.